During the night, Razir, keeping watch and seeing what was going on with the animals, a small, very, very tiny creature made its way over to the outskirts of the camp, to the outskirts of where the actual animals were also camped with you on the outskirts of your fire or however you're situated. And this small little creature kind of laid on the ground and almost like turned into a stone for a few moments before like poking their head up and skittering over to the camp and grabbing onto one of the rabbits that was on the outside of the ring of animals around your encampment. And the sound of something breaking or snapping or crushing happened with this rabbit. You don't know what it was. It grabbed it and then ran to an outcropping of rocks. It was about 250 to 350 feet away from where you are now. And then a little bit of light was produced behind this outcropping of rocks and a small wispy trail of smoke kind of coming up from behind it. Razir did say he was going to go and look to see what it was. And that is where we ended. Because Jason was falling asleep. Oh, that was the big thing, which did roll over into actually all of your days of travel. That was Louise specifically who had this kind of overbearing sense of being watched, which was not. Mm-hmm. Okay, so all right. So, just a brief description of what the rest of the party saw for Black Star was traveling over these rolling hills on the second day of travel. There was a figure that was sighted on a distant hill that was standing there kind of regal in position with some kind of walking stick or staff in their right hand and some type of like bulbous large, almost like a backpack or something on their back. Xander had sent... nope, it was Louise who had sent the bird up into the air to give like a bird's eye view of what was going on. And it turned out that this figure, as you were getting closer, going down into the valleys of the hills and coming back up, that this figure was getting closer to like the next hilltop and the next hilltop. It didn't seem to be moving, just was closer each time. The bird revealed that this figure was actually, while you guys dipped into the valleys, was running incredibly fast to the next hill and then getting to the top and then taking up a position as though he had teleported to the next hill, which was pretty comical for everybody to kind of have that visual. You guys eventually crossed paths in the middle of where you were traveling from. And he came up and introduced him. Well, he didn't introduce himself. He said that he was a traveler of the ages and making his way looking for various stories of those who have traveled this world and just wanted to see what kind of mysteries could be unraveled by hearing the stories of wary adventurers. So the description of this character is like this long kind of white beard with kind of like scraggly white and gray hair on the top. And yeah, just like an oversized backpack with a million different pouches on it. And it obviously jingling like it's holding 1,000,000 gold on his back. Yes. Yep. So assuming that Black Star would have been last, only because he wasn't here to have the interaction. So Xander opted to receive some money as... Oh, sorry. So the figure said that upon receiving a nice story that was told by Xander of one of your escapades, that he would grant you one of three things. Either a boon, an unknown or untold amount of money, or... basically to tell your fortune, but not necessarily your future, like asking him for a piece of information that would be difficult or impossible to gain, kind of, or would take a long time to get. I don't remember exactly how he phrased it. Do you remember, Eric or Donnie? The two that took that? Right. So each member of the party was there and just like there observing what was happening. So everybody knows that Xander was handed like a pouch full of money. I don't know if Xander actually said how much money was in the pouch after he counted it, but everybody would have heard the dialogue that everybody else had with this individual. Razier, could you tell us what it was that you asked about and what you were told? Just so that Alex has the information. Okay. Donnie? Or Throw? Oh, come on. So the question you asked was where you might find these or information about them. So right. So information about the flying boats or machines or whatever it was found in the Rising Requiem, which Black Star would have no knowledge of because the party hasn't told you about that. But just for Dinosaur, that was the story. Alex, do you actually? Yeah, it was a T-Rex. Was mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Um, so information regarding these flying boat contraption things was either in the secret libraries hidden underneath Islas Narian, in the ruins of Aeon, which nobody's heard of that before, or within the city of Yevengras, which again nobody. He didn't say ruins. He said the city of Yevengras. So a city that nobody. Ruins of Aeon. What? Correct. That's what I just said. I just want to make sure there's a differentiation. The fact that even Grass was called a city and not a ruin. So it's a city that nobody's heard of that this guy's mentioning. It should be noted. Go ahead. Would you have heard of it? Is that... No. I don't even need... You're not even gonna roll for that one. Nope. Wow. Um, yeah. Xander got a bunch of money, and what did Louise request and receive? Is so for 22 for 24 hours. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, so I mean, the rest of the party just knows that all your muscles swelled up and you just, yeah, traveled and had some animals. So we'll bring it back to the end of the conversation with JJ. Yeah, yes. Oh, This mighty fine-looking individual here. Haven't seen one like you in quite some time. Did you get around? Yes, well, you must have many stories to tell. Could you share one with me for one of these? I don't think that's possible. Try me. He did say that. Had to be a true story. Just right. Okay. I believe that you think that that was an adventure, and I appreciate you sharing it with me. I can say that I have experienced something very similar, if not the same. It's not for me to share stories with you unless you should ask, but for me to hear them from you and to provide you with a gift. And so, now that you've shared it with me, I would be happy to give you one of the three options, either an undistinguished amount of money, a boon, which could be incredibly positive or otherwise, but nothing I've gifted to your friends has been negative. So the third option is, of course, a piece of information, something about your future, something about your past, or just why the sky is blue. After all, everyone wonders that throughout their whole lives without actually knowing why, at least in this world. Oh, that's preposterous. That's just an old wizard's tale. All right. Go ahead and roll a d10 for me. Okay. It was right. I'd allow it. I'd allow it. I'd allow it. Same exact number. Wow. That's ridiculous. He pulls out a small pouch. Yeah, it is. Well, I just felt bad and I allowed it. So, anyways, um, interestingly enough, Xander, actually, Xander, make a perception check for me. You know what? He doesn't care. So you immediately like see like into the future and see the positive, almost like negative outcome that's about to happen, and you reach out your hand, and as you do, you look, and JJ is no longer standing where he's standing. He's actually standing right next to you, and his hand is on yours, and he just looks at you and turns his head to the side and smiles. You'll understand one day. And just kind of pulls your hand down, and poof, your vision comes back, and he's there holding the pouch out towards Black Star. Black Star, you kind of open it up, and there are 30 platinum coins on the inside. Unfortunately, yeah, Black Star didn't quite get the same experience that everybody else did, so he doesn't quite understand what he's dealing with right now. Let's make a perception check to see if you can notice what he's got on him, if anything. A 4. He looks like he's got some kind of rope around his neck, so like a thin. Uh-huh. It's 300 gold. Okay. Nice little boost. Well, and then he gives his... He didn't even really give that much of a farewell, just that he would see you guys in the future, and exactly. Okay. All right. Now, bringing us back to the present, now that we've tackled that. He's gonna feel bad. Mm-hmm. I mean, hey, you got 300 gold for free. Okay. So Razir, the group is sleeping. The animals are kind of minding their own business, and do you stealthily make your way over to this rock outcropping, or do you just walk over there? No problem. Do you leave the group behind in the dark? Okay. Yes. Sure. Yeah. So you now have one point of exhaustion stored in your ring, right? Gotcha. Cool. That's an exciting thing to start working on. Yeah. What's Thrall's the distance on Thrall's vision is not 250 feet. Right. So that's why she's using that to sniff out the fire. Is it well, I mean, so Razir points in the direction of where the fire is that he can actually you wouldn't be able to see it either. Oh, it's light in the dark. It's a little windy. It's a tiny, tiny, barely on the edge of your vision. Yeah, we'll just say, yeah, because it's there. Yeah. There's a little bit of a wind kind of coming through here. Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth check. Okay. So you kind of tiptoe through the various animals, being careful not to step on any tails or any bushy parts or anything like that. As you kind of make your way over, you get to this little outcropping of rocks. Again, it's a mostly flat landscape, and at this point it's just darkness around. There's like maybe a dotted tree or a bush here or there, but it's just tall grass that's kind of been laid down and being pushed aside by the wind as you're making your way over to this. You kind of get to there's clouds in the sky, right? It does have a moon. Right now, it's only got one moon. Currently, it's only got one moon. Okay. There's cloud cover, so it's very, very dark, super dark. Yep. It's not raining, but it's just cloudy. So obfuscating any light you have. Right. So it's not like very, very tall rocks. It's probably like the biggest one is maybe 5 feet tall. And so there's like a maybe three of them kind of like in a semicircle and kind of one off to the side a little bit. And you're approaching from the back side of this little semicircle. So you could, if you wanted to, squeeze in between the two of them because they're not right up against each other, just to get to the other side of the middle one. So you kind of like very, very carefully creep around the left-hand side of this middle rock, and you can see sitting with their back up against this largest rock in the center is a small individual. At first, you kind of can't make out the details, but just take a minute and look, and there's a very, very tiny fire. Off to the across the fire, hitched to a very, very small post, just a stick stuck in the ground, is like the smallest pony you've ever seen in your life. Tiny little, like, not like, Jack Russell dog-sized pony, but it's very, very small. Like a normal person would not be riding on this. Huh? It's a miniature pony. Exactly. Miniature pony. It is. It's kind of white with like a speckled brown and a very, fine tan mane. Looks like it's seen better days, or at least in the last couple of days. Looks like it was cared for very well and then had a long, hard journey that it's never experienced before. It does seem adolescent, and it's just kind of like pawing at the ground and trying to eat some of the grass that's around it. The figure looks to be a small boy, a halfling boy, that is roasting a rabbit over the fire and just very, very carefully eating it and kind of shivering, wrapping a cloak that looks like the outskirts of this cloak look like a boulder or a rock as he kind of pulls it around himself, kind of settles in. And as it settles into place over his shoulders, like it almost like solidifies on the back. Like, not that he's doing it intentionally, but it's cloak from Lord of the Rings, where he just does that whole thing. Okay. Anyways, does seem to have a small pack to the side and just kind of shivering and huddling, and kind of moves back some of the rabbit grease through his short, like light brown hair, and just kind of looks around. Doesn't see you at all. Small boy seems slightly reminiscent to one you've met in the past. But if Razir probably wouldn't have had cause to remember, because it was so insignificant when Razir told the boy to mind his own business and go away. It's also the one. This is also the. It's also the one that walked up when Gade had killed all the chickens, and he was picking up chicken feathers, and Thrall chased him to his house and then got the stolen items out of his house and brought them back to the chest for everyone to have. Anyways, that's... And you're like thinking to yourself, like, what the heck's like this child out here in the wilderness? And you're like, oh, I know who that is. He like literally like takes the rabbit and like throws it on the ground and like scrambles backwards and then runs over and starts trying to unhitch the pony, not even saying anything to you at all. Oh no. That's he just well, hold on. He turns to look at you and just goes, ah! And then he literally goes limp and falls on the ground. He literally fainted. Literally fainted. It's fine. The pony's like kind of doing this at him. Do you carry the pony under your other arm? Okay. Okay. Grab onto it, start leading it back to the group. Like a third of the way back over to the group, he wakes up. Like very, very quickly. And he's like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can you? And like just like a half second like pause and delay, and he responds in halfling. We're a long way from home. I don't know where we're. No, I'm with you. You guys are. Well, if you put. Okay. All right, Buttercup, we got a ride. No. What? Okay. And okay, so you're now pulling him along by the reins, and he's just sitting on the pony and just kind of sullenly kind of hangs his shoulders a little bit. I didn't have anything else to do. I needed to follow you. I wanted to go where you all were going. Um, um, okay. Thank you for keeping me safe. Okay. He stays silent as you lead him slowly back through the crowd of animals. Who most of them, there's like a hedgehog that's like rolled up on its back, and it's just snoring off to the side. And back to the rest of the group. Thrall, you see Razir with a very small pony and a very small boy, who you distinctly recognize immediately as their face comes into the light of the. We'll just say you guys have a fire, even if you never have a fire, but you have a fire now. In the dome. As Razir like walks through the dome, actually Xander would need to be awake to allow him to go through, but it's fine. Razir. You can see him. Mentally will him into the dome. Okay. So as Razir walks in and like stands there, the all he sees on the outside is the lead kind of like through just this opaque green surface, and he's just like, and then he just like you pull on the lead a little bit, and the pony goes in. He's like, ah, and then he comes inside, and he's like, oh, it's nice and warm in here. Oh, all of you. You don't have keen mind. No. This is like midnight. 1 o'clock in the morning, something like that. Yep. He assumed after when you guys went to sleep. Just this. It looks good. And eats it. Oh. 11. Followed you. Insight check on which part? Okay. Yeah. He seems like he's telling the truth. He's tired and weary, and like there's a sense, you can definitely get a sense of extreme anxiety and uncomfortableness, but also extreme excitement at being in the dome with you guys and finally talking to you guys. Because every other time he's encountered any of you, except for Thrall, the one time, you've basically just told him to like go away, or like, you know, go back home, or go to your parents, or whatever the case was. There were like 2 different occasions where that happened, and then the Thrall occasion where, anyways, you don't know his name. You never learned his name. I could. It was. Um, Yeah, the very first time you saw him, they had put up this like tarp type situation around the building where the explosion had gone off, and you guys were in there investigating. And he like took one of the poles and like pulled it aside and looked around and was like, "Hey," and just really creepy. "Hey," and Rizier's like, "Get out of here," or whatever. He said something. "Go back on home, son." Yep. And he was like, "Aw," and kind of pushed it aside. Anyways, so that's this individual. Yeah, you guys are the Raiders of Beacon. I want to be a Raider too someday. Oh, well, I know, and you travel very fast. But my father, bless his poor soul, he taught me how to track, and so I followed your hoof prints, and Gade, who I learned Gade's name, but Gade kind of has a very particular scent, and this is my tracking pony, Buttercup. So she helped me find my way. There was a couple of close calls, and that old man was very, very, very kind. Yeah, he said that I needed to be protected, and so this is why he gave me this really cool cloak. So, yeah, he said you were nice people, and I told him I knew that, and so that's why I'm here now. But anyways, I followed you out to the mountain, and then I saw on the way out there when I was waiting for you guys when you went down into the mountain, or wherever it was you were going. I saw some like bodies and some kind of explosion that happened, and anyways, then here we are. Wow. Well, yeah. Um, well, a couple days ago, Mr. Corbin was looking for volunteers, and yeah, my dad never really liked the guards that came through. And my mom's been gone for a long time now. I don't even really remember her. And all of the chickens are dead. So there was really only the cow. She was on her last legs. Nothing left in my bedroom. All my toys. Guys, I don't know if we're getting a Ryver tonight. That's that's unbelievable. That's Oh, well, Buttercup basically doesn't leave any tracks, so I'm able to just kind of, well, and you look back from where the pony was walking, and there's definitely tracks in the grass. Okay. You on horseback. Yeah. You see, a little tiny pony track. Don't forget there was one at the top looking down at you guys as you were leaving. There was at the top. You cast detect magic? Okay. Oh. Um my name is Dreek. Dreek Silentfoot. I'm from the family of Silentfoots. We're really good at tracking and being really quiet when we're moving. Oh, well, it sounded like the guards might come back to the town. I wasn't sure if that was actually going to happen, but I didn't want to die, so I thought the safest bet was to follow you guys because you're adventurous and safe. He like falls off the pony and rolls out of the dome. It doesn't. The key's not even back inside yet because he's like picks himself back up, dusts himself off, and comes up to the dome. Uh, yeah, I don't think he can. He can't hear you. You can speak through it. I think you can. Pretty sure you can actually, because then you still have to be quiet while speaking inside of it so things don't hear you. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Okay. Well, I distinctly remember them using it on the Rumble Cusp and them having to be quiet, and they were not quiet, and it brought some bad things on them while they were in the dome. So that's how I'm going to rule it. Anyways, so he does hear you, and he's like, oh, okay. Like, kind of comes back through and bumps into the back of Buttercup, and then kind of nervously looks around and looks over, just eyeing Black Star the entire time. So, I can go sleep back by my rock. I don't need to be in here. I've been safe this whole time. I've just been keeping my eyes forward and not really looking around and just following you guys. Yeah. Haven't seen anything. They say it's really dangerous out here, but seems kind of nice most of the time. Well, it's not like I was a whole day behind you. At least until we're someplace safer than out here. I could come on your adventures. I could be like your sidekick. I can get you like water. Can we just play Dungeons and Dragons right now? Do we have to talk about what I might or might not do with this kid? Can we... Not yet. Yeah. No. Yeah. Oh, and I can read. He's gonna roll deception. You're just never gonna beat his deception ever. um. Oh. Oh. Um. You're What's can I just like lost his fear for some reason as you've given him this weapon that he takes into his very small hands. What's your name? Oh, meh. You know, I just lost one of my other ones, but this one's bigger than the one I had before. He like pulls the cloak aside, and there's like a holster with like a set of daggers on the side, and there's one holster missing. He had three previously, and there's one missing dagger. He just like flips it around and slides it in. Mi- Mister. Mister, don't talk to me anymore is real mean. But at least he gave me the dagger. Now I've got one to replace the one I lost. So, am I sleeping in here tonight, or do I have to go back to my rocks? Okay. Yeah. Halflings, like full grown halflings, are like 3 feet tall, 3 to 4 feet. So he's a child. So he's like not even 2 feet tall. He's this really, really small little person. like a 3 or 4 year old human. So he, um all right. Okay. And it goes over. I think your name Thrall? I made a present for you. I think you're really nice, and I know that you stole what I stole from you back, but I kind of liked that a lot, and I thought that it was really neat, and I just kind of want to be able to do. I'd like to have my own Gate someday. I know that Buttercup's never going to be as big and strong as Gate is, and I'll never be as big and strong as you are. But he like goes into his pack and pulls out a stuffed chicken. Um, wow. Oh my goodness. Um, this was this is best I could remember that Betsy looked like, and because you helped me pick up all the feathers, I actually had enough for two, and I thought this smaller one, yeah, because there were enough for me to make two. I kind of made them a little smaller so they were easier to carry, and I figured that would be a little more useful. But yours is the larger of the two, but I also put like a little like a necklace on it so you could wear it as a chicken necklace if you wanted to. So and it's just see this little like glued together like craft project chicken with like one eye has fallen off and there's like a little beak there, and you don't know what material it's made out of, but hands it to you. Um, um, Thrall, uh, I just and you see his face just gets a little bit flush. I just wanted you to know that I think you're the coolest. I just think you're the coolest, and you don't have to. I just wanted you to know that. So, and thanks. Bye. And then he turns around and walks back over to the pony, and then like just kind of curls up and kind of shudders for a second underneath his cloak and goes to sleep. Okay. Okay. Kid's gone to sleep. Is anybody having any further conversation about this or anything else? Or Just that he wasn't as he seemed, I believe is what he said. What? Dreek. Dreek. Okay. Does detect magic require you to have sight of the thing that you're looking at? It gives you, it's the 30-foot range, that much I know. And in the past, I've allowed it to ping things kind of on the other side of walls, but not, you can't tell what they are. You just know there's magical items on the other side of walls and stuff. Okay. So everybody obviously that has their magical items on them and whatnot kind of lights up as they should. The dome itself does. Oddly enough, a couple of the woodland creatures that are on the outskirts of the dome, just with barely within your range, like the three that are closest, kind of light up very, very faintly on the outskirts. The cloak that Dreek is wearing, and then it looks like in his pack there's at least one magical item in his pack. Yes, it is. Enchantment. I mean, you could take an hour with it and figure out what its properties are. Okay. So you're gonna actually use identify. Okay. This magical chicken pendant allows the wearer to know the location of the wearer of its perfect pair. Put the kid in the portable hole. This is by far the longest night we've had in this game. Okay. I don't have an actual typed up stat block for this, although I do know that it exists. I'd have to go and find it. But it essentially is it's right. It's a cloak of camouflage that specifically turns the outskirts into a to look like a boulder, and people have disadvantage on their perception checks to notice you while you're on it. And when it's laid perfectly still, it looks exactly like a boulder that matches the surroundings of the area. Of course, I'd find that. I know I have it in one of my books here somewhere, but I'd find it if it became necessary. All right, so what are you doing? You have to go outside of the dome to put the hole on the ground and toss the pendant inside. Is yeah, okay. Shoo. Disappears inside. Well, sometime fast forward like 4 or 5 years from now, we'll be in the middle of our second campaign, and I'll be like, oh, you know what, let's go back and revisit our old level 19 and 20 characters from the last campaign and do like a little 2-shot or 3-shot just to kind of reunite them, kind of like the Mighty Nine reunited, right? Kind of like that. We'll come back, and then it'll be this guy, and that's the bad guy of this. Yep. Exactly. Anyways, you guys settle in for the evening. Is anybody doing anything else, or can we go ahead and move on to the next day? Okay. The clouds clear. Mostly, the sun kind of beats down on the early morning sunrise as everybody comes to, and Louise has a nice breakfast that's brewing in the morning, and you know that you have a solid day ahead of you. The dome goes down. The kid is still laying there next to the pony. You guys have all gotten up, and whether there's the sound of rattling pots and pans or just getting your packs together and everything kind of situated, the animals are still there on the outskirts. Haven't moved. They're still looking at you. Just kind of waiting and seeing you getting the horses ready and packed up, and Spara being summoned, although I don't know if Spara's just always around or not, but that does. Animals kind of stretch, get themselves up, and the boy's still just laying there, just not awake. You guys are getting ready to get on your horses. I mean, specifically, there's no orphanages. There are definitely, yeah, yep. There's the kind of religious quarter of Ryver, with the main temple, and then a secondary temple as well that kind of handles taking care of the less fortunate and those who don't have a place to stay. But there is, I'm gonna tell you this right now. This is out of character, out of game. There will be no brothels in my game. Actually, as he says that, Razir, you kind of immediately kind of pick up on, you think to yourself, oh, the lazy nectar, Turzon, the half giant who runs that, he's like always talked about wanting a son, but you don't know that will be successful. Also, it's a half giant and a halfling, which is hilarious. Um, uh, that one I've seen specifically. Anyways, that's the only thing, that or the temple district if you wanted him to have just kind of a place to stay. Um, but been a while. Did you say that? Okay. Huh, what? What? Oh, it's so bright out. Uh, oh, good morning, everyone. He was sleeping. Okay. Oh, Buttercup. Buttercup. Yeah. Yes. Um, okay. Yeah. I mean, whatever you need. Can I like help with anything or like pack something? Oh, you guys. Oh, yes, Mister. Don't talk to me. Yes. What? Oh, and he like takes it out and like twirls it in his hand, and he's like twirling in his hand. Oh, hold on, hold on. He starts twirling in his hand and it just whoosh, goes flying off. Whoa! And then he immediately reaches down. I'm just rolling so many times for him. Nope. He's just not having a good day today. Takes out another one and tries to make it look like he caught it behind his back and then picked up another one and put it in his hand, but ends up fumbling and dropping the second one onto the ground in front of him. And he's like, anybody have any breakfast? I haven't eaten. It's that berry was really good. Oh, Mr. He like holds his hand out to Louise. Oh, Louise, right? And you, you're kind of thin. What's your name? Well, we don't have Thin White Duke here, so he's talking about you. Oh, right. That's true. I forgot about that. Okay. He's pointing towards Xander. He's pointing towards Xander. Xander? Right? Oh, there's no resemblance. That's kind of weird. I mean, you make the food, so, I mean, people must be charmed by that, if nothing else. And then you look kind of dead. Sorry, that was rude. Well, man, you're like a really interesting specimen. Like, have you ever been experimented on? Have there anybody? I've read about people like you in books. I feel like, does your skin just? Anyways, what's your name? You're like the nicest one of the group, except for Thrall, obviously. But it really. Oh well, the okay, thanks. Yeah, the yeah, the temple there, the temple. Yeah, that's but yeah, Razir. Okay, and I know that's Gade. That's good. Yeah, and then he like runs over and grabs the dagger, like kind of reholsters them, and so Buttercup's ready to go. Are we going to Ryver? That sounds awesome. Okay. Okay. He kind of like looks back at Razir, kind of questioningly. All right. Well, all right. I'll give you another chance, Mr. Blackstar. You're kind of the meanest of the bunch. Well, I already have met somebody who's nefarious and deceptive. Thank you? Oh, right. That was the question you asked me. No. Do you have anything cooler to learn to play? Oh. Can I? Are you sure I can't, like, learn guitar? That's way cooler than the pan flute. Lute. Lute's better. Definitely better. Yeah. Yeah. You know, you gotta, like, build up some kind of, like, lung capacity, and I'm just not really there yet, so. I'm quick with my fingers. That's okay. I appreciate the help. It's kind of like keeps an eye out on Razier just to make sure that Razier's watching, and then over at Thrall, he has a big frown on his face when he sees that Razier's not looking at him anymore, and like looks over at Thrall. Hopefully, what's Thrall doing? Bigger frown, shoulders slump. Looks like it's just me and you, Mr. Blackstar. Make a perception check. Yep. He tries to reach inside the pouch as you're handing it to him, like undoes the string, which that part you see, sticks his hand inside as you're like looking at him, and then a bunch of coins come falling out of the front of it and onto the ground. All of them? You want to see all four of them, including the one you gave him? Okay. Okay, make a sleight of hand check. It's okay. He rolled a 6. What? Oh. Ah, you got me this time, Mr. Blackstar. Yeah. Anyways, all right. Time to go. All right. Oh, pretty fast. I wasn't really able to keep up. I haven't gotten a whole lot of sleep in the last 4 or 5 days. But it was, fast enough. Horses are 60 feet, right? Movement. Okay. The pony is 45 on a tiny little pony, which means its feet are moving fast. It's like a dog that runs, like really fast. Mm-hmm. It's My Little Pony. Anyways, all right. So you guys take off for this next day's journey. Within a relatively short period of time, you arrive at the bridge. This is the main bridge. Ryver has traveled over this numerous times, kind of to and from, going to wherever. Probably more primarily the southern bridge and maybe the eastern bridge on to the east of the Gambler's Basin, and maybe just a few times over this one. There are the bridge itself, side to side, is about 30 feet wide. It is completely made of stone. There are no wooden elements to it at all. There are some metal bits here and there. The bridge has been, like, not torn down, but fallen apart in many locations and been repaired over time. Any attempts to repair it with wood have just eventually just rotted and kind of decayed and fallen in. Ryver would know that by the time you hit the section where it's the highest above the river that feeds into the Gambler's Basin, it's probably about maybe 30 or 40 feet off the ground, or off of the surface of the water. Here, it's obviously a slow, like, incline up and out, and you're traveling on it, or you will be traveling on it for the better part of the day on the bridge itself. It takes up, maybe half a day going across it. But there are, just immediately within sight, sections of the stone that have kind of broken away and created these jagged holes that just have been left to disrepair. There is a railing on the left and right hand side that's probably about maybe 4 or 5 feet high. That's like this thick 1 inch or 1 foot thick, like, railing almost, with kind of like sections of it that are removed so you can see down into the water below. And for the most part, as you're traversing across it, there's no signs of any other people. There's the occasional boat that you kind of can see. One, like I say, occasional boat. There's like 2 on your journey that you see. One of which has some passengers that kind of like pass by underneath. And there's kind of like almost like a covered wagon scenario on the top of it with this large canvas situation with a bunch of people kind of huddled together. And there's 2 people with crossbows that are kind of like under it, looking out and up at the bridge itself. And you guys are probably 30, 40 feet at least from it at any particular point as it passes by under the bridge. But they're not shooting at you. They're just kind of like keeping a wary eye to make sure that nobody's going to try to ambush them. And you wave at them. They don't wave back. They just kind of keep their distance and just continue going on. Another small, like, rowboat that looks like it has a chunk missing out of the side of it is kind of like just floating barely on its side and just lazily making its way through. There's like a blood stain on the front section of it across one of the seats, kind of coating into the water as it's barely just lazily floating on by. At a certain point on your way traveling along, what is we'll get the marching order here on this bridge as you guys are traveling. Okay, I assumed as much. Who's next? I'll tell you how I had it arranged, and you can tell me if you're. Well, you can. You can travel. There's 30 feet, and you're on horses, so you could all travel, all next to each other in a line, going down the bridge if you want to. Man, you're just absolutely brutal. Okay. Well, it's half a day's journey across just this bridge, so there's plenty of time to talk. Yeah. Oh, how old are you? Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, that's cool. Um, I don't know anything about magic theory, but I, I, I would like to learn. I think I like magic. Um, I've seen a little bit of what it can do, and um, I'd be interested to learn. Yeah, um, that's really cool. So are you giving this to me to look at for now, or what is? Sure, it's a little difficult to like ride and like be reading. Do you know if do you know any magic like what Thrall knows? Like some kind of like nature something, or like something that could aid me in tracking, being better at tracking. Something you can you wait, you can watch things? Like so like you could watch things without other people know that you're watching. It's I don't know what that is. No, I mean like, well, you have like a little animal come up to you and you like don't know that it's a person, right? That's kind of how I think about it. Anyways, that's what you do, right? I mean, you look at other people without them knowing you're looking at them because it's the you're familiar. Really? You've never done that before? Okay. Well, stealthy, right? That's well, I wasn't. Anyways, yeah. Well, maybe once we get to Ryver, there'll be more time to kind of learn more, and maybe you can show me the actual technique, and I can kind of work on that a little bit more. But no, you decided to be as far away from the kid as you could be. Oh, does does Mage Hand like let you touch things without people knowing you're touching them? How does Mage Hand work? Yeah, you can. You're right. You're like right next to him. Yeah, sure, sure. Make an insight check. A 10 on your insight. He's 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 alone. He has no parents. He is a lonely orphan boy who's 11 years old and obviously doesn't have any friends or didn't have any friends previously and is just very curious about what he can or can't do. You don't know. How do you know that you're not? How do you know you're not just inferring things based on what he's saying? Um, I'd give him about 15% creeper. 15%. No, no, I know it's not invisible. It's an 11-year-old child who doesn't know what mage hand is. Oh, all right, okay. Oh, oh, what? What's that? Whoa. Oh. Oh, oh. Like, also, don't forget, you guys are on horses and he's on the little pony, and he's basically the size of like a 3-year-old child on this tiny little pony on the ground. So you're like talking down to him, like way down on the ground. And so the mage hand, like envelops his entire body. Okay. Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's useful. It's kind of difficult, like trying to run, like, Buttercup's got to really keep up the pace to try and keep up with you guys on your horses and all that. So I'm kind of like moving around a lot while I'm running, and so it'd be better maybe if I had like a rest at some point and I could look over it, or maybe at Ryver. But I really think, yeah, you're close. You're really close to being like the number one or number two nicest person, just second to Thrall, and in niceness, and I really appreciate it. And maybe we can talk more later or now. What do you? What's up with what? What? What do you mean? What? You've never been good with girls. What do you mean? Why are you? Yeah, Thrall's really cool. Don't you think? Don't. Well, I just feel like my strengths are what Thrall's strengths probably were when she was like a lot younger, and so I'm trying to develop those same strengths. And I want to learn how to be like a member of the team. I know I'm not really gonna be a raider like until I'm older. Like, I understand that, but if I was gonna be one of you guys, no offense, but like, Thrall, that would just be awesome. Yeah, I can understand that. No offense. No offense. No, that's Nicodon. Not by the time. Not by the time you guys were leaving. Yeah, because he burnt the contract and you guys left and immediately left the town to go north. Yeah. Well, hey, that's like, can you just like, I don't want her to know that I'm like idolizing her too much. So if you could just kind of keep that, like, I made her something special. Come to think of it, it like looks over, like looks ahead to where Thrall is, kind of cocks his head to the side a little bit. Man, that's really confusing. Um, Maybe if we could. What do you? No, like takes it and puts it away inside his shirt. It's like bulging on the shirt. um, your brother. I saw him in action a little bit. He seemed like he knew a little bit about kind of what Thrall does. A little, maybe, kind of. Um, Should I talk to, like, you've got like a lot of magic, but he's got like the same magic that Thrall does, and that's kind of, unless you know that kind of magic too. Here, just gonna cut to the chase here. If there was something that I could do to really impress her, not in like a creepy way or anything, just to like show her that like we're on the same page and like I could do it too, right? What do you think I should do? Or do you think Louise might have a better idea? Okay. Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, hey, no worries. It's fine. We'll just keep riding. So most awkward 11 to 19-year-old conversation. You guys are making really weird noises. That's a language? Man, that's gross. How can you do that with your tongues? I don't understand. Anyways, does it hurt? Oh, yeah. All right. I'm gonna go see if I can ride up next to your brother, if he'll let me. And so then he rides up a little further. So I'm assuming it's Lou behind the other two, and then you guys are behind them or behind him. And so Dreek just kind of rides up next to Louise on his pony. Doesn't say a word at all. Doesn't even look at Louise. Just keeps riding forward. Yep, that's what he's doing. What? No. Well, hey, who told you? What? What do you mean? Yeah, we're just having. Hey, it's a beautiful day out. I'm glad it's not cloudy. Anybody have any traveling snacks like a trail mix or? Is an awkward preteen. I'm playing the character perfectly. I don't care what you say. Anyways, okay. So about midway. Oh, go ahead. No, we're we're good. Keep going. I mean, as long as Gade's still good to go. Thrall. Thrall. Oh my gosh. Uh-huh. Yep. I'm gonna have to talk about an alignment change if that was the case. So make a perception check. Okay. The pony seems to. You haven't done like a investigation of the pony, or like really examined it necessarily. You've just seen it and paid more attention to the boy than the pony. The pony seems as pristine, if not more so, or not more, not if not more so. Seems perfectly fine, and the same as it was last night and this morning, as it does now. Yep. Okay. About halfway through your day. On the bridge, up ahead, Louise. Despite the fact that you're kind of behind Razier and everybody, I mean, throughout the day you've been having to kind of you pass by like a pile of just rocks that are on the side, like not off the bridge, on the bridge. There's just a pile of rocks, like big rocks that make up a portion of this, and kind of have to like navigate around it, and you can't like make out the reason, like maybe a cart dumped over or something and partially spilled over onto the side of the bridge into the water. There's like a giant hole every like half an hour. There's just a big section of the bridge that's missing. Large scrape marks, like a dragon or some giant creature reached up and grabbed onto the bridge and scraped across it and damaged some of the, or removed part of the railing and like part of the bridge, and one of the pillars that goes down into the water is like partially like burnt and scorched. Some kind of battle took place on this particular section. Continuing onwards and seeing these various pockmarks across it, something catches your attention up ahead, where there's another like small outcropping of rocks and a hole on one side. Everything thus far on the left and right hand side of the bridge has been smooth as far as the railings are concerned, but like maybe a couple 100 feet ahead of you, we'll say 150 feet ahead of you, as you're kind of galloping along, you see some kind of like large metal brackets that extend for maybe like 80 feet on the left and right hand side, that are kind of like hanging off the side of the bridge, almost like there was like a metal cart that broke in 4 pieces or something and just happened to perfectly line up where it's attached and hanging off the side of the bridge. You can't, like, you can see down into the water to some extent from your perspective, like on the left, and you kind of move over to the right just to kind of see a little bit more and kind of get a better view. And there doesn't seem to be like shadows, and a small section where that metal, whatever, you can't tell what it is what I'm trying to explain. It's just like metal brackets or cage elements on the left and right hand side of the bridge. And a bit of mist from like almost like an invisible waterfall, where a waterfall would be crashing down and there's like mist in the area. You don't see a waterfall, you just see the mist kind of hanging around in the air. But you're about to be riding through this section, trying to keep an eye out for anything that might be bad. But you don't see anything bad at this point. Do you slow down? Do you tell the party? Do you just keep going? Do you... There is like a hanging mist and fog that, as you're saying this, starts to obfuscate, that's the word, the majority of this area. So you actually can't see any further past, and it's starting to like travel in your direction to the point where that section of the bridge will be completely obscured in a matter of seconds. Well, first of all, because Louise pointed it out, it's not really a cart, and looking at it, It looks like there's something maybe mounted or bolted into the sides, maybe as a means of reinforcing the bridge. You can't really tell. It almost looks like brackets of some kind, like metal pieces that are kind of on the railing and then down the sides of the bridge and underneath it. Because this section up ahead, before the fog mostly blocked the vision of it, which is about to happen in about 10 seconds, it looks like it was like almost like caved in and maybe was held up. But there's a section of this metal that is for about 80 feet for this section of bridge. When I said cart, it looks like maybe pieces of carts or something were used to reinforce the edges. This is completely new. You've never seen anything like this before. Also, the metal bracketing and things, you've never seen that before either. Or the damaged section of bridge. Oh. Um. Um. If you're not Razier and you're proficient in history, you can make a history check. Otherwise, Razier, you've 24. Okay. You're proficient. Black Star. Jack of all trades. No, that's fine. That's fine. So, everybody has heard of bandits out in the wilds that use various things to try and trick people, fool people. As far as fog, you haven't heard of fog specifically being used to hide people that are trying to ambush somebody else. So, I mean, you've heard of water creatures, especially Razier being near the Gambler's Basin. You've heard of water creatures that will, like, create this, like, what's the word I'm looking for? A cloud to just, like, protect themselves or to try and hide while they're trying to sneak up on their prey. Hey, you've heard of, like, one of them passed directly underneath you while you were traveling over it, and then another one you saw that was like a ways off. It was going to come to the bridge, but you passed by before it. It like passed behind you. It said that was like way before. That was like 2 hours ago of travel. Yeah. So you guys stopped at this point, right? You didn't continue going because you were about to be. Hey, why did we stop? Yeah, aren't you sure it's not just normal fog? Make an intimidation check. No, you'd be giving him a negative help action on this intimidation. 19. He just like kind of scowls and looks down. That's it. Wait, you could have done this the whole time and not traveled at all. Which, hold on. 24 miles. Yes. I mean, yeah, you're definitely not within 10 miles. Can you talk to the sword from a distance? Um, that's interesting. It's it's the you require the proximity of like a person. So as far you could yell to it. It's like as though it's a person when you're talking to it, essentially. Right. Okay. 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 Um. Okay. So you like go into Java's vision and you're like really close to the ground because Java's pretty tiny. Um, moving along, you eventually hit the wall of mist and fog. It's kind of like a white grayish fog that's just kind of like swirling and it's not moving quickly, but it's just there. Um, Java moves along and eventually hits the wall and it's like a over him and it's like zero visibility on the inside. Java can't like barely see the ground that he's 8 inches above with his tiny body. Moving along, travels for uh, about 10 feet before hitting or seeing what looks to be a hole and almost like falling into the hole and down into the water below. The hole is about like 10 feet across, like a roundish. It's kind of like does one of those like in the cartoon, like in the movies, just kind of like doing backpedaling, kind of skirts around it, goes another 10 feet on the right hand side. There's like almost like a parapet wall that is around a portion of another hole that's there, but you can't because the vision is like right up close to his vision. Go ahead and make a perception check with disadvantage with Java. That's funny. Sure. The smell. Does he have anything on smell or just hearing? Just on hearing. Okay. Then just. Yeah. There isn't really any sound here except for the water that's rushing underneath. Go ahead and make a different perception check with your. For hearing. Is that with advantage? Okay. 23. Made a little weird noise. Do you? That's funny. So moving along, he doesn't see anything. You don't see anything through his eyes. Like, you can barely make out the stonework that's around you, but you make out like shapes and things that are kind of moving in the fog. But you do hear a little bit of a whisper. And the whisper isn't. It's, what languages do you speak? It is not a language that you know. No. You don't hear anything, Razir. Okay, but you are not hearing what Xander's hearing right now. Oh, okay, gotcha. It is not deep speech. He did. um, no, it's not undercommon. It's at this point now, like, just, yeah, exactly where you're standing, actually, or where Java is standing. Let me just check on a thing real quick. The clattering sound occurs right next to Java as a large javelin sticks into the bridge, into the stonework, like into one of the crevices in between the two stones, right next to Java. What's Java's AC? Just for 13? 13? Okay. Yeah. It narrowly misses him. Okay. So the Rakanichu got you, though. From you? How far did you... so it was about 150 feet that Louise decided to tell the group, and you guys probably traveled for at least another 20, 30, 40 feet before stopping. So I'd say you're about 110 feet from the edge of the fog cloud, and then he proceeded in 10, 20, 30, 35 feet approximately into the fog cloud. Oh, gotcha. Really? You can't sense... I thought you could see through it for like a 500 feet or something. You can only summon it 100 feet away. Oh. Okay. So, right. So you can. So we're gonna put if it doesn't say it in the text, I'm gonna put a limit of like 500 feet on your ability to see through it, but your ability to communicate with it or tell it to give its commands stops at 100 feet because that's what the spell actually says. And we'll be a little bit loosey goosey with the 500 feet, cause especially because it's not actually in the thing. Approximately. Well, you know, it's a javelin, so you know what the range of a javelin is. No, you're like 110 feet from the fog cloud. You're kind of breaking up a little bit, but you're fine. Also, Alex, don't forget to claim Blackstar as a character in the campaign, because currently that's not been done yet. You haven't claimed the character yet. We are going to go ahead and take our break here. Okay. It's kind of weird. Go ahead and make a performance check for me. This takes a spell slot to do. No, this is a cantrip. Cantrip. Okay. We've literally just come back to playing almost as you've sat down almost now. Yep. Okay. So that's your performance check. Is anybody else doing or saying anything else? Okay. The fog doesn't dissipate, and there's no sound or anything that comes from within the fog. You don't know. I mean, what you did may have had an effect, but you can't see or hear what it is. How much closer did Razir get? You said a bit closer, but if you were 110, okay, so you're at 100 feet now. Okay. Okay, then never mind. It's around the top, and you like kind of go over to the edge, left or right, doesn't matter, and like look over the edge, and it is like reaching down the pillars that are holding up the bridge itself and down to the water. And it's extending about maybe 10 feet, 10 or 15 feet on either side of the bridge as well. And like, you can't see how far it goes on the bridge itself, but it started maybe, yeah, it could be 50 feet in depth. It could be 80 or 100 or 150 feet in depth. You don't know what could cause something like this necessarily that's staying here for so long. I will say at this point, no, it hasn't quite been long enough. Yeah, it's still there. It's not nothing's happening. Man, I'll tell you what, this fog stopping, halting progression. I should have put a giant door on the bridge with a lock. Yeah. Okay. So you guys, okay. Um, okay. It's a 10-minute or 11-minute cast. No, well, it's 10 plus the original. Okay. 10 minutes and 6 seconds. Sure. Yep. Okay. Um, all right. So you start casting it. 2 minutes go by. 3, 4, 5, 6. At 7 minutes from the point of you starting to cast it, the fog dissipates. And you see the bridge ahead of you, the small little parapet outcropping of rocks that kind of like hides a portion of, or basically it looks like it was a barrier put up to protect people from falling into a very large hole or a section of the bridge on the right-hand side that's just missing entirely. It looks like it was purposely placed for protection of people. And then in the center, for closer to where you are, that was still within that fog range, there's a like 10-foot wide hole. It doesn't look like it was broken on purpose. It just, again, it's more of the same that you've seen along the way. It's just like everything else. But now, being a little bit closer, a tiny bit closer, you can kind of pick out what Louise was talking about earlier as far as there being these weird metal, like a sideways brazier that's attached to the side of the bridge in sections down the bridge, almost like a cage, kind of. You just can't tell what its purpose is, but it looks maybe like it was designed to support broken parts of the bridge. Maybe. So you've got 3 minutes left on your cast, by the way. Okay. I mean, you're hearing it. Yeah, you're hearing it with his ears. Yep. You can't respond in the language, but you can understand what's being said. That's yeah. Okay. So the fog is cleared. You don't see any enemies. You don't see anything. I mean, you guys could just, it's a clear path on the left-hand side. All the left-hand side, all the way straight forward through this area. Fog is no longer there. Yeah, it's a clear path on the left. Razir, make a perception check. Which side of the bridge do you look over? Okay. It looks like there are wooden beams or poles or something. Wait, what? What is this? How does that help in this instance? Just period. Okay. So it's still 12. Okay. So even with a 12, it looks like there are, like, underneath the left-hand side, underneath the underside of the bridge, there's like these wooden poles or posts or beams or something that are attached to the cage that are kind of sticking down into the water, and like the water's kind of splashing on them a bit as they're kind of sticking downwards. They don't look like they're attached to the stone framing or the pillars that are holding up the bridge. They're just kind of loosely dangling in the water. It's almost like, again, it's like like a rounded cage that's on the side with some weird like wood bits sticking down, like pretty long down into the water. Yeah, it's just in the middle of the what they have. No, there's nothing in the middle of the road. It's gone. For his cast. Okay, so another 3 minutes goes by. You kind of use that time to go over and take a look on the left hand side. Is anybody else doing anything else in this 3 minute increment? Okay. Okay, make a perception check on the right hand side. Okay. So similar description to the side that Razir was looking over, with this weird wood bits kind of sticking out of this brazier like cage turned sideways situation. The one thing that you do catch is it looks like there is a very large rowboat that is moored underneath the bridge. And you can see the tail end of it sticking out just barely, like getting over. I mean, if you like hung over the edge and somebody held your feet and you were like down, maybe you can get a better perspective. But from your current perspective, I'm just looking over the railing. You can see the tail end of it, the back end of it, and there's like a crate on the back of it. It looks like it's intact, like maybe it's stuck or something, or anchored. That's all you can make out from your perspective. It's still like it's because it's far away. It looks like it's maybe from your perspective, maybe about 150 feet away and like down and around. It's kind of hard to see from. That's why you can only see the back end of it. So because the bridge at the top to where the water is right now is about 35, 40 feet down, and then 150 feet forward is where this boat is. So, and there are like massive pillars that are about 10, 15 feet in diameter that are kind of holding up like sections 2 at a time down the length of the bridge. So close to one of the what? It is. Yeah, it is. Okay. Did you like your snapping of your fingers and Java comes up out of the snow, up onto the bridge? Okay. So now he has clear line of vision. You can clearly kind of skirt around this large hole that's in the side. There is, or in the center, rather, there's a large section that's maybe about 20 or so feet that's just missing in the right side of the bridge, and there's a large like stone outcropping kind of protecting that section from people falling into it. It's about maybe 10 to 15 feet in width and about 20 feet in length of the bridge that's just gone. You can walk over to the edge of this and look down if you want to. You feel like the javelin that was thrown at you was probably from the other side of this outcropping of rocks that you can't see past. Okay, make another perception check for him. Or if it's for hearing, then it's with advantage. 12. There's a slight scraping sound, and then wait. And that's it. Because you have comprehend languages. Yep, like in Star Trek. The gap on the right. So it's about 10 to 15 feet wide and about 20 to 25 in length. Yeah. Now, for the sake of expediency, I'm just going to come right out and say everybody knows this is an ambush. Everybody can tell. It's like the people that are setting up the ambush know that you're waiting and know that you know it's an ambush, and you also know that it's an ambush, but they're still waiting. So you can do whatever you want to at this point, but you don't know exactly where they are, except for that you probably know that there's at least one person waiting on the other side of this stone parapet that's there, or whatever it's called. You don't know if there's anybody on the boat or not. Not yet. Do you walk over to the edge of this drop down or this giant section that's missing and look down? Wait, hold on. Okay. It's a 13 AC on how many hit points does he have? Okay, so Java takes 8 points of piercing damage as there's you guys from pretty far off at this point see just barely like a little piece of rock in the parapet just fall inwards, and a tiny little like reflection of light off of a piece of metal just shines barely. I would say that those with Eldritch Blast that have 600 feet, you can shoot towards it, but it's almost full cover on this. And even if you have sharpshooter and you ignore full cover, there's not even enough room for your Eldritch to get through these tiny little slits that are open right now. But I will give you an attack roll if you wish to on each of this. It's fine. So technically, yes, there is. Okay, so I will just say, okay, before you guys get your shots off, okay, so there's one tiny little arrow just fires towards Java, ricochets off the side, and I'm assuming Java still runs up to try and get a view, looks down, make a perception check with disadvantage for Java on his look down as he's shot right in the face by the second arrow that comes right for him, and he poofs an 8. Oh, it's a 13. Wait, what? It's a 13, right? I'm confused. It's just 13 on my side. Oh, it added them. Well, it should just be keep lowest +3, not keep lowest 1. Right? Oh, it's automatically. Okay, so the roll is 8. Okay. So Java gets to the edge, goes to look down, and the briefest of seconds, you swear you see 2 massive eyes looking up from the boat, up at Java, and this huge toothy grin with some kind of wet, scraggly hair coming down over some type of giant humanoid that's down on this very large rowboat with some crates and some chests on an 8. That's what you see before Java's gone. Is it an hour? 8 hours? Nice. For the first time. Okay. Okay. You guys are just all moving forward. Let's get this party started. Oh, I'm just gonna wait back here. You guys can just, no. He's literally backing up on the pony, away from you guys. I'm just gonna. But what happens if you don't succeed? Then I'm gonna die anyways. That doesn't work for me. What? Break out? Of what? A hole? You're gonna make a hole in the bridge? Yeah. Yeah, okay. I mean I could, unless Thrall really needs help, with daggers and okay. All right. I understand. Yeah, no. Runs moves. You're looking forward to it. So he moves about like maybe 50 or 100 feet further back. So he's like 200 feet from the edge of where the fog would have been. All right. So you guys decide to move forward. Are you running up and just seeing? But you're not going to have visual of the boat unless you. Yeah, it is. It's a large rowboat with crates and chests on it. Uh huh. That's up to you. You can shoot it if you want to. What else am I supposed to say? I do the opposite of what a lot of other DMs would do, as opposed to just letting you just fumble and do things that you'd be really frustrated about later. I just let you do everything, or tell you not to do things so that you aren't upset later. Oh, okay. And that's up for how long? 10 minutes? Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So you guys are all riding forward. Are you going at a fast pace, or you're just kind of like trotting up and waiting for whatever? I'm assuming you're. Okay. Gotcha. Um, all right. You sure can. All right. So as you guys get to the center, or you're like move up a little. Sure. You have detect magic up. You guys move at a fairly decent pace. You get to this 10-foot hole. You pass by it on your left-hand side. You get up to almost where the parapet is, and you hear come from the underneath the bridge. It's almost like they're like, oh, we got them, we ambushed them, but you knew that they were there in the first place. But what you didn't realize, or what you didn't know, Louise, you catch this first. Two massive boulders come flying over the sides from the water, up and over in an arcing motion over the top of the bridge of where you guys are currently situated in the center of it, with ropes attached to the boulders that are like tethered to something underneath. And you hear and you see the rope as it crashes down into the water on the other side. There's this huge jaw of metal and wood that up on top of you guys as the rope pulls taut on either side, that comes crashing down on everybody on the center. Now, Louise cannot be surprised because of his observant, I believe is the but it's, what do you have, observant or alert? So you don't have alert, so you can be surprised. Now, you were expecting an ambush, so I'm actually going to give everybody advantage on this dexterity saving throw because you knew that something was coming. You didn't know exactly what it was, but as you can clearly see the telegraphed motion of this giant wooden and metal cage spiked maw that comes up and crashes down on top of the bridge. Actually, you're going to need to make rolls for the horses that do not have advantage, and also for Gade. The DC was 15, by the way, just so you know. So did everybody make it? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. Okay. Nope. Neither does Gade. Where's Gade's roll? Gade was a 2. Sparrow was a 2. Why did Thin White Duke roll? Why did Thin White Duke roll? Oh. Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, Alex, you're now assigned to Black Star. Just so you know. Okay. So Gade, Sparrow, Louise, the horse, and that was for Black Star? That was a roll for, or was that the? So all 4 horses? No. Okay. And Louise. I'll take 16 points of piercing damage. Oh, then Louise rolled it. That was the horse. So all of the mounts take 16 points of damage. Everybody who saved takes 8 points of piercing damage. As this giant, like, weird maw structure in the center, a bunch of goblins and hobgoblins jump up onto the top of the wooden portion of the structure and actually cut the ropes. And the cage, which is on some kind of springed hinge mechanism, unleashes backwards. I just hit something on my desk. There we go. As I'm emphatically gesturing. And they, like, jump off as it's, like, catapulting backwards. One of them like misses what it's doing and gets launched into the water way far away. One of the goblins just gone like 100 200 feet away out in the water because it was a huge spring motion. So the horses that you were on collapse to the ground, like, with whinnying sounds and just, like, horrible pain and cries fall to the ground. You guys are now on foot, or, like, not being crushed by these horses falling to the ground. I'll bring you to the battle map now. Okay, how many hit points does Barry have? He had 31 hit points? That's ridiculous. So they actually jump down, like, right next to you. There's 2 of them. One of them is here, and one of them is here. We're going to grab the encounter. I'm going to add everybody to the... There we go. Nice. Oops. The what? Okay. Yeah, I would say you probably could have, yeah. Did you make your Constitution 10? Okay, sure. You have 2 targets behind you, 2 to the side of you, and then 2 that have full cover over in this section over here at the outcropping. Okay. Okay, go ahead and roll your attack. I'm going to remove Sparrow from the battlefield. 17 just hits. I haven't started the battle yet, so I'll go ahead and begin combat now. We're going to switch the music over to actual battle music. Oh. Okay. Sure. Yep, go ahead. Who are you going to shoot? Sure. Okay. Do it up. They were holding. So the four goblins that are on the board here were also holding actions. It was the hobgoblins that were holding their actions to get up and cut the rope. So they are also going to get their attacks on you guys before we jump into actual combat. So 25 hits, and the 22 hits. 22 hits. Yep. Go ahead and roll damage. So 10 from Razir and 12 from Blackstar. To you. Okay. No saving throws, it just happens. Oops. Gotcha. Louise, you did get off your shillelagh, but you weren't holding anything specific as far as a ranged attack. How about Thrall? This is like just free actions that I'm allowing to happen at the beginning of the battle, so. Right. Yeah, I guess I probably would have asked for a I probably would have asked for a concentration check from both Blackstar and Razir. You did. It's Constitution. Just because, I mean, it's a massive thing, you know. You guys are both fine. Okay. Both of these goblins are going to go ahead and take their actions. They are actually both going to shoot at Gade. First one is a 7 to hit Gade. Second one is also a 7. What are these rolls? So dumb. Okay. These two behind are going to poke up and they're going to shoot at Razir. Both of them. That's an 11. And an 8. Okay. So they're firing little short bows. Pew, 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 pew. Just you're matrixing them as they're kind of clattering off the stonework that's there. Top of the round, Thrall, you are up. We'll have him go on your turn, yeah. I'm going to remove him from the combat. Okay, so as far as mounted combat is concerned, he can do that, but then you jumped off of Gate, is that what you just said? You did? Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Sure. All right. Go ahead and have Gade make his attack then. I mean, he's not wrong. Ooh. An 8 does not hit, unfortunately. 18 does hit, though. He gets 2 bites. Oh, gotcha. 18 does hit. Wait, what? Wait. So Gage just comes up and just grabs onto the top of this goblin's head and just pulls it off of the body. The spine comes with it and it just over the side. Oh, it's... Yeah, Mortal Kombat. Straight up. Okay, do it up. $17 hits, yeah. 9 does not hit, no. Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You literally take your axe and you're just like swirled around and I just take off its head just like and Gade like Yes. Yes. Uh-huh. Razir, you're up. Well, you're worried that I'm just gonna be constantly trying to kill you at all times, so okay. Okay. Wait, with the whip? So it's lightning and green, like green lightning now along its... Yeah, that's amazing. That's ridiculous. Just keep in mind where you are in the initiative order, so that when it comes to your turn, you know exactly what you're going to do, so we can actually move things along. Okay. Oh, Whip of the Blue Worm. I mean, he is probably. Roll some damage. Which one do you attack? Which one do you attack? In front of you? Okay. Okay. Why? Why are we rolling all this extra damage for no reason? 74? $17. Okay. Why are you doing so much damage? What? How? I don't see 34 damage here. Oh. Gotcha. Okay, now I understand. Okay, have you ever seen in a zombie video game where like something just loses all of its limbs and its head all at the same time and just pops? Okay, So the whip wraps around this poor goblin. Okay. So it wraps around this poor goblin, and everything just explodes and then rots in the air, and it just eviscerated into a black cloud of nothingness and spores that fall to the ground. Is that the end of your turn? It's not. Yeah. It's all dice that are rolled. It's all dice that are rolled for the attack. So this would be part of the same attack. Okay. Okay. So it there isn't anything left. No. No. Wait. No. No. That's not who you were hitting. Okay. So the whip wraps around the first one. It just is obliterated. The one behind him, the fire, like crawls along the floor, and almost like small little like creatures of some kind like crawl up its body, and it just like screams in pain as like this green fire engulfs it, and it's just burned to ash on the ground. Does that end your turn? Your gosh darn turn. I don't know. Yeah. 20 feet. Too powerful at level 6. Too powerful. Yeah. Also, it was goblins, so. Okay. Yep. I mean, you haven't seen the thing that Jabba saw yet, so there's that. Do it up. $26 hits, yep. It's not 8. It's not 8 points of damage. So 12 total. So 16 damage. Oh my goodness. You guys are going to be so powerful at the higher levels. So powerful. Okay, 18 definitely hits. Oh, that guy wouldn't have moved up. I forgot. I'm just totally misplaying. Okay, doesn't matter. 6 points of damage. Okay. Yeah. Okay. End of your turn. But just to clarify with your shillelagh, because we didn't do any descriptive flavor on your attack, you're just like lighting up the club that you have that you looted from the Rising Requiem, right? And you're just coming in and just poof, poof, hitting them like in a fighting game. It's a really satisfying crunch at the back of this hobgoblin's armor, which this particular one isn't wearing very much armor. It's mostly like cloth and actually has like a wand in its hand. And it's definitely some kind of mage that shouldn't have run up into the fray, and I totally wasn't paying attention at all. And it's Black Star's turn. It's going to get Right. He was cutting the. It should have been one of the goblins that was cutting the rope and not the mage that was up on top of the. Yeah. So that's my bad. It doesn't matter. Can I just say that I spent a lot of time making these maps, and can you guys actually see the boulders in the water with the rope? Like, it's not a big deal, but like just a little extra thought that's description. Uh huh. Okay, I appreciate it. So the cage is like kind of like up like this, like fingers wise, like up like this on the edges. So that's kind of what it looks like. Yeah, it's not great. I have kind of limited assets to an extent with what my vision was for this. It's it's just a bridge encounter. Don't worry about it. Black Star, it's your turn. This is Black Star's first real combat. Down chop on the head. My favorite move. Oh my goodness. Okay, roll some damage. Oh. Ah. That's just so much damage. I don't even get a turn during this battle. I literally don't get a turn. Oh. It's 3 more. Yep. It's ridiculous. Um. Okay. Oh, you should have control. Okay. Pivot. Xander's like not even gonna get to go probably. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. You sure will. You sure will. Uh huh. Okay. Yeah. So you just activate. Lights up with fire. Does that end your turn? Okay. Let's see. This guy. All right. He's going to go ahead and make 2 attacks on Black Star with the sword that he pulls out. He's holding it with 2 hands. Pay no attention to the actual token that's on here. I just kind of threw this together. So first attack coming through. Oh. That's a 7 to hit. Second one. What are these rolls? That's a 10 to hit. What are these rolls? This is actually really stupid. Actually incredibly stupid. Okay. Nope, not quite yet. There's He does. He does. Yep. He's going to move out of your attack range. Do it up. Uh-huh. 23 hits. I mean, you didn't. No, you did 12 damage. Wait, are you two-handed with your? Yeah. Its own thing. Jason, I see your face right now. I can see your face waiting for your turn right now. You're just sitting there like, come on. I can see it. So 7 points of damage. That's much different. I mean, it's not moving out of his range. He's actually going to move over here, actually. Okay. Nope. At the end of At the end of his turn, there is a roar that comes from underneath the bridge. Roar! As a massive troll with five arms, 3 on the right side and 2 on the left side, comes clambering up the side, this giant ladder that's set up for it to climb up here. It is going to get up to here, and it like gets up to the top, sees that literally almost all of its friends are dead here, and yells out, does anybody speak giant? You do currently. Yeah, okay, so Xander just hears, "You will all fall to my 5 hands. I will slap you until you are like the fish underneath our boats. Let me put my meaty finger hooks in your mouths and pull you down to the depths of the water." I can't even finish the sentence. Okay, he's gonna move over to here. Just the first person he sees when he gets up the ladder is Louise. I don't even. Okay, this guy. Oh, that's bad. Yeah. He's just gonna freaking load on Louise. That's not great. That is one. That is. It's one bite attack and 5 claw attacks. Okay, here's the bite attack. That's 23 to hit. Okay. It's 5 it's 5 points of piercing damage as it like just literally 5 arms come up and it bites down onto you. First claw attack is a 9. Second one is a 19. Does 19 hit you? Meets, okay. 7 points of slashing damage. Third attack is a 26 for 11 points of slashing damage. Fourth attack is a 19. Are you Thrall? Are you the 26? Oh, okay, right. Okay, so what is that? Half damage. You reduce it by 8 points of damage, so it takes 3 damage. Okay, so the fourth attack is a 19, so we're going to roll damage on that. That's 9 points of slashing damage. Okay, and the fifth attack, 24 to hit. Chronal shift on that, I'm assuming. Okay, 23 to hit. Okay, damage is, 14 points of slashing damage on that one. Okay, so it literally, it's like, and then, beating down on him. Let me just double check. blah. Yeah, that's it. End of its turn. Xander, you're up. Okay. You only have 2 meters, or you're using two on a bonus action, correct? Okay. Gotcha. Because it has a 5-foot radius. Gotcha. Twice or once? Okay. First one is an 8. Second is a 17. Wait. Okay. That's the halved? Okay. 14 total. Gotcha. So you describe that just like these motes are like floating around you, and even though you're standing there, you're just like little grenades, and he's like getting hit by them. Okay. 21. Yep. Okay. 8. It's being weird right now. Oh. Necrotic damage. Which is 5. Okay. Alrighty. What does Wither and Bloom look like? Just quickly. Quick description. So it's in this like so the hail is like hitting the giant and like bouncing off the ground, and then as it bounces up and out towards Louise, it like it like melts and turns into this warm mist, and Louise is just like basking in this mist that's coming up towards him and just enjoying the mist as it's floating up towards him. Okay, is that end your turn? Okay. I just want to try and make these not boring number crunches. That's all. Quick little things if we can add them. Thrall. You're gonna jump onto him. Is it a bonus action to mount, or an action? Oh, sorry, half your movement. Okay, half of your movement. You moved him. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Oh. Nah. 24 hits. So 17. 17 damage on that first one. 10 piercing, 7 force damage. Okay, gotcha. Uh, 17 does hit, yes. Monk. Duke. 11 does not hit, no. So it was just six damage on the second attack, correct? Because I hadn't subtracted that yet. Okay. Alrighty. Brazier. Not a whole lot of description for Thrall unless you wanted to add something. He is still alive. He is. I mean... Don't anybody ask about leveling up after this battle, by the way. No. No. Vegeta. Okay, I'll say it again. Make sure that you knew what you're going to do on your turn when it comes to your turn. Keep it moving along. 30 seconds tops. You are. On yourself. 30 feet. I just did it. Can you see it? Okay. Well, the thing is that so all of them were wearing goggles, but this is magical darkness, right? So I mean, you don't know, you don't know, but disadvantage. There. Okay, so you cast darkness. He then can't see you and doesn't know that you've moved away. He has no way of knowing that you've moved away from him, so he wouldn't be able to use his reaction to attack you because he doesn't know that you've moved. So I would rule for sure. I'm pretty sure that's probably what the rules are, because that makes the most amount of sense. Yeah. If you sensed, I mean, you could. Yeah. So, okay. All right. So you moved over there. And that's it. Okay. Louise, you are engulfed in darkness and can't see anything. Um, that's a great question. Uh, it's like if it really tried, if it like put its hands up like this and then like put its legs together and tried really hard to slide down through, it probably could, but not. It's not just like click and drag over and drop it down into the hole. It's not going to happen that way. No, it's 10 feet wide, and this creature is large, so it technically could fit down there, but it's not just an instant drop. It would have a pretty easy deck save. Probably not. I'm just. I would give it a deck save, but I'd probably give it advantage. Honestly, it's not that difficult. It's not that. Yeah, it's got 5 arms. Yeah, definitely advantage for sure. I already told you. It's 3 on the right, 2 on the left. Yes. Nope. Nope. This is just a perfectly normal 5 arm troll. Uh huh. Uh huh. Yep. It does not, unfortunately. By the way, I considered a 6 armed troll, and I also and I also it's too many. And also I considered a 4 arm troll, and I'm like, nah, it's not quite enough. I need one more arm to make up the difference. Yes. Okay. So you've moved out of the darkness at this point. Okay. This guy's like partially in the darkness, but it's not that big of a deal. Okay. All it would have to do is like lean out of the darkness, just to. It wouldn't have to. Yeah, it's kind of difficult to deal with larger creatures when you're dealing with this, but okay. Black Star, you're up. Does it? I mean, you can just start walking. You don't know where the creature is at this point. You knew where it was. I would make a perception check with disadvantage. Somebody else would know. Alt on D&D Beyond. Well, Eric should be piping in here and. Okay. Clearly. So you walk into the darkness and you literally bump into the giant. Or the troll. You're like walking in, like ready to like maybe attack this thing, and you just like hit a leg. You're. How does that work? Louise or Eric would know. I mean, Felix or Eric would know. Sorry. If you're 2 sizes smaller than it, it's large. Oh, okay. With difficult terrain. Okay, so you can move through it. You want to move there? How much you moved? 5, 10, 15. Yeah. You can move there if you want to. You can move there. You can. Yep. Do it. Ooh. Okay. I love this song, by the way. Oh. What, is it difficult terrain, or you just can't move through it? Oh. Well, then I'm sorry, Black Star. We're going to put you back where you were. Make an acrobatics check. It's like 5 feet high. So you're like vaulting, and you're in the darkness. I would say this is at disadvantage. This is definitely. I'm sorry. It's got to be. You're in darkness. It's a 20. Okay. Well, it should have been just one more roll because there was a nat 20 on the other, but that's fine. It's fine. Yeah. So you literally leap over and like that giant gap is there, and you just like slide onto the stone, get into position, hold your sword at the ready, and you just hear in your mind, Black Star, it's a troll, kill it with fire. It's half. It's only half. It's half. Okay. There is no directional. There is no directional stuff in this game. That is not a thing. I'm gonna make a perception check. I'm gonna do it however I want to do it. Ooh. You roll with advantage. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It wouldn't have hit. Yep. Also, it definitely can see out of the darkness based on the roll that I made for its perception. It's yeah. I mean, they could be round tokens with no facing direction. There's no directional facing mechanics in this game. Oh, you did? Oh. It's like a dark gray. Kind of the same color as the stone, actually. You should just make it something like white or red or green or something. Or purple. It's the one, it's the hobgoblin's turn. Yeah, he's gonna run up to Xander. It does. It almost entirely encapsulates you. Yeah, and we are based on the roundness and not the squared template that was there. I would have said it would have been advantage for Black Star because that we did say a long time ago that it is the actual round effect of things and not the squared template because I like the round better. Yeah, because the oh. So these attacks would be with advantage on Xander because he's almost entirely engulfed by the darkness. Why can Xander see him? Oh. Okay, so the darkness went up, he moved, so he doesn't even know that Xander's there. So it wouldn't be fair for him to run up to Xander. Okay. All right, he'll make his attacks a disadvantage. Uh, 13 to hit. Nice. And then an 18 to hit. Eight points of piercing damage. The sword comes down. Okay. 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 All right. He's then going to move away from you, which Xander, what do you have for an attack of opportunity? If you wish to, what do you have? Okay. So he's going to move away. He's going to move, 20. Yeah. That's what he's got. Because he moved up 10 feet to get to you, and then that's as far as he can get. 5-armed troll. Black Star. He's gonna move over here. He's gonna go ahead and unload on you first. This is the bite attack. 15 to hit. Okay. Claw attack. 24 to hit. 15 points of slashing damage. Ooh, what is this? What is it? Okay. So 10 damage, you said? Ice damage? Okay. Second claw attack. 18 to hit. 10 points of slashing damage. Third claw attack. 24 to hit. 11 points of slashing damage. Are you down yet? Okay. Fourth claw attack comes in. 18 to hit. 10 points of slashing damage. Okay. It is going to use its fifth attack on Black Star on the ground. You have shield? $22? Wait. So 23. Okay. So then in total, you should put yourself, because you're max health, correct? So you took a total of 26 points of slashing damage in total so far. You had 39 hit points, so you have 13 hit points left. Okay. 41 minus 16, or minus 26. Oh no. Help. No. It's 41 minus 16. 26. 41 minus 26. 15. Okay. So the fifth claw attack comes in on you, which is a 14 to hit. You are alive. You should currently have 15 hit points, by the way, and not 26. You had 41 hit points, and you took 26 hit points in total. You're good. Yeah, that's yes. You also get an attack of opportunity if you've not already taken your reaction this turn. It is going to move away from you. Correct. It is going to... You have a 10-foot range? Uh-huh. Yeah. Imagine if he was just dead. 17 hits. Nine. Okay. Why are you rolling extra things on your reaction? And you didn't already use that on your turn? Okay. All right. So an additional 3 points of damage. Because I already subtracted 6. Okay. So it doesn't need to. Okay. It is going to move up to here. This is within melee range of Thrall, even though because Thrall is on the mount and because Gade is 10 foot because it's a giant or large rather circumference. Xander, you're up. You're in total darkness right now, but you can see. Okay. Okay. So on the little guy, it's an 8. Okay, and then the other guy, dexterity save, you said? What kind of damage is this? This is 20 to dexterity save. Oh, hold on a second. It was when it came to the 5 armed trolls' turn, it seemed to get a little healthier on its turn. Okay. So it took 4 damage. 4 damage. 2 damage. Gotcha. Fire damage. Okay. That was your bonus action. I just remembered that Felix asked for us to end at 11:30 at the latest, and it's 11:37 right now. I feel bad. I just want to finish this battle. Okay. Just a wisdom saving throw? Intelligence saving throw. That's a 4. Wait, the troll is run out of where to attack it? Okay, gotcha. Okay. 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 Yeah. You have mounted combatant, right, Thrall? Pretty sure. Yeah. So you're moving away? I can't hear you. Okay. It is going to go ahead and take an attack of opportunity on you then. It's going to attack Gade. Nope. Okay. The attack towards Gade. It's 17 to hit. Okay. 13 points of damage to Gade. Okay. So Gade takes 3 points of damage. Wow. That's ridiculous. Imagine if you'd only rolled a 3. Imagine if you'd only rolled a 3 on that. Yeah, so it just goes to swipe and there's a as not much happens. Okay. Do it up. 20 hits. Oh, I've lost connection to the server, but you're still rolling. 14 does not hit, unfortunately. Okay. So 13 damage total. Okay. Razir. Oh. Okay. Mm-hmm. $13 does not hit. 23 hits, yep. Ooh. I'm going to wait for the extras, because there's always extras with you. And I'm going to roll my biggity boop damage and my Uchi Buchi damage. That's so much damage. Okay. That is a 10. Yeah. I mean, can't see you, so he's scared of you. He's scared of you, and he can't see you. Okay. I don't know what you've done. Is it in your token? The aura. There it is. Nice. So you would have removed your darkness first and then done your attacks. No. Wait. Gotcha. So then, like, the darkness goes away, and he's just like, "Arr!" Yeah, that's pretty funny. Okay, Louise, I believe you're done with your turn, Razir, right? Okay. I mean, 17 does hit. Give some other people a chance to take their turns, Eric. Is it just 7 points of bludgeoning damage? Oh my goodness, you guys. You guys with your damage. What? 13 does not hit, unfortunately. Actually, I will give you advantage because she has a troll on the other side. Now, it may not apply in future circumstances because technically it wouldn't, but I'm ruling that it would in this instance. Doesn't hit. But you should re-roll for your first attack to see if it was a natural 20, though. Oh, it almost was. It almost was. So close. So, yeah, second hit attack doesn't hit, unfortunately. Okay. Just coming up to it, hitting it in, like, the back of the knee. Poof, poof. Black Star. I mean, you can't see the other troll, but yes, according to what it sees. Yep. So what do you do with your sword to activate this? Yep. Yep. Black Star, you're going to kill this thing. It's going to be epic. Seems to be weak to fire. 21 does hit. 13 does not hit. So 10 damage. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. All right. So it's now the 5-armed troll's turn. Well, all right. Somebody roll a d6. Razir, roll a d6. 1 to 3, it attacks the other 5-armed troll at least once. Okay. It does not. It is going to go ahead. Okay, I was letting it be a 50-50 chance. Because, I mean, it's being harried by both. Yeah. It's just, I let the dice roll, or fall as they may. It's going to turn on Louise. The bite, 21 to hit. Oh, sorry. It's 21 to hit. The second one was a 26. So 21 to hit. Yep. 7 points of piercing damage. No, that's wrong. Uh, 19 to hit. That's disadvantage. Okay. 11 points of slashing damage. A 9 to hit on the third claw strike. Fourth claw strike is an 11 to hit. Fifth claw strike is an 11 to hit. What is happening? That's 2-4. That's yeah, but come on. A 9, 11, and 11. That's so dumb. On this thing's got... Yeah, okay. All right. It's just... How are you back up to 52 hit points is my question. Okay. Okay. So it goes into... Yes, I do. Yeah, so it got its bite and one claw attack. So it bites into you and then kind of rakes across your shoulder. You feel the kind of searing hot pain as like part of your shoulder is kind of ripped off essentially by its giant claw. It then kind of retracts and laughs as blood is just pouring from multiple wounds on its body. Oops, I just skipped everybody. What's happening? It's Xander's turn. Okay. It doesn't get a save, it just does damage, right? How do you want to do this? Yeah. Yeah. But you can control what it sees, though. Yep. Oh. Okay, so from everybody else's perspective, you literally watch as it's like beating down on Louise, and it's like sitting there and like bleeding from like multiple orifices, and it's like, and like literally goo just seeps out the front of its eyes and down its ears, out of its mouth, and it just. Where's Black Star right now? Oh, he's over there. Okay, he's far enough away, but you just see this thing just, you know, gets eviscerated from the inside out and just collapses and then like stumbles over and falls into the hole. Yeah. And that is the end